So I'm the supervising producer for the Creative Arts Emmys. Started actually in 2001, so go way back. And I'm one of the producing team. So basically, what I'll do, my kind of primary focus are things like budget and logistics and kind of schedule and running the show. And then I help out with other things like I support the other producers with kind of creative input and just general kind of production discussions. I started it was 1986, and I had a friend of the family who was working for Dick Clark Productions, and she knew I wanted to get into the entertainment business. I was 20 years old, and she set up an interview for me with a production coordinator there at Dick Clark Productions when they were in Burbank, and I hounded them for a few months and finally got called in to work as a PA, and the rest, as they say, is history. It's something I always look forward to when Nancy Robinson sends me the email that says, "Okay, here we go," and sends me 4 or 5 different links to videos of the potential interns. And so I always enjoy kind of watching all those and looking at what they've done and everything, and then sort of selecting my kind of top 3 or whatever, and then I include Bob and his assistant Candace in that, and we sort of, between the 3 of us, 100% decide on the person. And this year it's Zoe Boyd, and she is actually possibly the best one we've ever had. Not that we want to rank them, against each other or whatever, but she's fantastic, so we're super excited. And the kinds of things that has been fun to see her do well are earlier in the earlier stages of production. It's not as busy in terms of actual shooting and that kind of thing, in terms of logistics and shooting. But what we have a lot of then is, because there's 100 awards between the 2 shows, roughly 100 awards. So there's a lot of proofing, with the video packages and scripts and all that stuff, and we just need another pair of eyes to look through this stuff, and she's actually really good at that. And that's a task that we've always had our interns do, and she's done it particularly well, and found some errors or whatever that luckily were caught earlier in the process and didn't make it onto the screens that you see in the house here, and won't make it to the television screen. So that's a big thing. Other responsibilities that the intern might have, like down here, she's here now with us doing a whole variety of tasks. Last night during the show, she was helping when the winners would come off the stage. She was helping them get to the thank you cam and make sure that they knew to be quiet and to do kind of get out of the way of the next group coming through and that kind of stuff. So that's just one of several things. But she's also helping with general production, just like maybe putting seat cards out that go in the audience for rehearsal, where we have the different names and pictures and stuff of the nominees and presenters out there, so they use these for rehearsing. So I saw her out there putting those into the seats and taking them out, running supplies to people that need it in the truck, all kinds of stuff like that, waters, whatever, So yeah, that's a lot of the things that they've done. What I like to see happen with them is that they get a broad sense of the different things that are going on, because at this stage of their career, which is just the very beginning, I think that it's helpful to see kind of all the different departments and what they're doing, and not just be kind of stuck with one thing. And what this allows them to see is maybe what they might be attracted to in terms of what they're going to do in the business, assuming that they stay in the business, which they usually do. And so I like to see that where they are exposed to the talent department, to the script department, to the post department, to production, to the producers, and all the sort of, and even things like technical stuff in the truck with the director. You saw Rich Pruce out here before. I made sure that she spent a little time in the truck, seeing what they do in there, and even meeting the set designers and lighting people and all that stuff. One of the key pieces of advice, I think, is really to get to know all the different departments, so that, because to be a good producer, I think you need to know what everybody does. Not as an expert, but at least have a good idea of how the different departments work so that you can better interact with them, which is what a good producer, I think, needs to be able to do, is interact and communicate with the different departments. And if you don't really have a good sense of what they're doing, then that can lead to problems down the road.